guys can speak multiple languages? So a good amount of people. My topic today is going to be the language conversion. So pretty much it's about from you knowing how to speak one language to another. So for example, today I'm going to be talking about how you speak Spanish to English and how that has an effect to kids that are going to school here. Then English is not their primary language. Not a lot of people here are from the United States, and English is not their original language. So their original language is something other than English. So for example, Spanish. My original language is English. I come from a family that speaks Spanish, but I wasn't taught how to speak Spanish as much. I was taught as I was getting older, like little bits of it, but not fully. So what I'm going to be talking about is what age you learn how to speak a language, what schools do to approach kids that don't know how to speak a certain language, and ways you can learn how to speak a language to help you better yourself in the area you're in. So going to my first topic, I'm going to be talking about what age you start to learn how to speak a certain language. So the age is around like 30 to 36 months when you're born. And the first language you're going to learn is the one that you're going to be exposed to when you're like talking to your parents or like family members or people around you. So if you are born out of the United States, like say in Mexico, you're going to be surrounded by people that speak Spanish. And that probably is going to be your primary language. So coming to the United States, it might be harder for you to speak English or like connect with people that speak English because that's not your primary language. I mean, you're going to find people out here that speak Spanish as well because it's very diverse out here, but it'll be tough at first. I was exposed to both English and Spanish, but as the years go on, I was exposed more to English because it was easier for me to catch on. Spanish wasn't really that much or that easy for me to catch on, so that's what I stick to. Speaking of that, if you learn how to speak English at an early age, it might be easier for school later on. So going to my next topic with schools, what they do with students that don't know how to speak English, they put them in a placement test, or they give them a placement test where they have to see their skills of speaking English in front of people. So, for example, what I had to do was I was put into different classrooms to take certain tests to see if I qualified to be part of like a regular English class compared to a support English class. And those tests I was put into because when I first signed up for school in my hometown, one of my primary languages that was written on my account was Spanish. So anyone that has like another language part of them, they would have to take a test. It's also beneficial for you to do these tests because if you do like qualify for a class that is support, it can also help you speak English, how to write, read, etc. So it's very beneficial, and you get put into a class where other kids also have the same problem. So you're able to connect with other people, make friends, and learn how to solve problems with them. Going to my next topic, I'm going to be talking about a way to learn how to speak two languages at once. For example, you could use Spanish. You can speak Spanish at home and you speak English in public. So if you're at school, 5 days a week you're going to be at school, like at a high school, elementary school, or middle school. You're going to be at school 5 days a week, and of course most schools out here teach English. So use that time to learn how to speak English, and when you're back at home with friends or with family, use that time to speak your native language. So with me, what I try to do is at school, of course I spoke English, and at home I try to mix in a little bit of Spanish just to increase my skills with that. But I feel like that method is the best way to keep yourself being able to speak both languages and becoming bilingual better. Being bilingual is different for all students. We all have our own ways of learning how to speak a certain language depending on where you're from, who you learned it from, or even if you want to challenge yourself to learn how to speak a language. I recommend you guys to try to challenge yourselves to learn how to speak a certain language. Like for example, it'll be beneficial if you go on a trip. Let's say if you go to Mexico and you don't know how to speak any Spanish, go out there and try to learn how to speak their language. and try to connect yourself with those people out there. And honestly, it'll make it way more fun if you're able to speak and connect with those people out there and not look like you're out of the blue and don't know how to say anything. Yeah, so we all have our own ways of practicing how to speak a certain language. So I just recommend you guys try to challenge yourself and try to learn a new language and try to connect with people. Yeah.